I just wanna see you, even if it's on my side. Some doubts about you, just got me feeling high. Been thinking about you lately, just don't care. Same as I
called into the Joel Friday show today. For you guys that don't know who Joel Friday is basically the like a co-host, or was a co-host of Jesse Lee Peterson. Has his own show now, and I appreciate his point of views, the way he breaks it down. So I'm a fan of the pod. So shout out him, shout out Joel Friday. But bro, I called in today. I had some time, so his show's like from 11 to 12. So I had a moment to call in, and I wanted to get something off my chest. So I was like, I'll talk to him. He'll know what I'm talking about. And what I'm referring to is the show the show we did about 2 episodes back, White History, got a lot of traction. It's on its way to have 1,000 views.
Hey, congratulations on that.
Yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword, but I'll get to that.
It's always a double-edged sword when you get those views. Like, I you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get those views unless they know you as that good person and all that. But it's like you need to have a catch, and the catch was, what is a black job?
Yes, like, did you notice that got the ball rolling?
Yes,
everybody was coming out of the woodworks. Like, the Trump supporters were coming out of the woodworks, bro. Like, oh, Trump said that because of this. And
talking about a guy who utilized sex in his horror, in his horror films.
Yes, yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, everybody came out the woodworks, and it's amazing to see it. I appreciate that. I do. I really do. I love them all. I love the comments, guys. I try to respond to all of them. So I hope I got some points across to some of you who had questions. But I was reflecting on that episode and reflecting on the numbers it's getting. Like I said, it's on its road to 1,000 now. About 20 comments at this point. But when I brought that up, it was genuinely just a thing to kind of laugh off a little bit, but it's not so much of a joke to a lot of people. And when I laugh off, I meant the White History. Obviously, it's like a trope. But anyway, reflecting on that, I realized, like, man, like, no one's interested in our top 5 horror films. You know what I mean? The things we really do love, and the reason why we started this podcast is to have these conversations that we have any other day between me and Brandon online, for people to have a sneak peek into it, into our friendship. So we started it for that reason, and we do that. We cover these things. But anyway, like, I had a realization that people only love the drama. They only love content that's gonna stimulate them in a wrong way. I could attest to it. There's a lot of sexual content out there that I like, I guess. People like. I'm not excluded from this. I like a pretty girl. So I realized that the same thing with politics. People love an argument. People love this. But I gotta tell you guys, and I'm honest with you guys, that I'm not in it for that. I'm not in it to argue with anyone. I'm not in it to stand on a political altar here. I'm not in it for that. But anyway, like I said earlier, I called into the Joel Friday show, right? And this guy has an audience. So I like to call in. Also, before I did this podcast, I'll call in just to kind of get over whatever little shyness I had, being honest, on the airwaves.
Yeah. Right.
So I've broken down many stories with him. A good guy, I love the show. So I called in and I had a question for him. My question was, he had posted this Joe Biden video, and it basically was saying, recapping the debate and how Joe Biden seemed to be incoherent the whole time and kind of in La La Land the whole time. So he said, you know, he needs to go sit down. He needs to not be involved in this no more. That was Joel's take on that. And I went to the comments, and a comment stood out for me. And the comment was, oh yeah, politics is not your thing. You need to stay out of it before you lose followers like me. Yeah. So I called them and I asked them that. I was like, oh, you posted this, and since and he's like, oh yeah, for those who don't know, I posted a video and it got a lot of traction. And I told him, yeah, did you read that comment? One of the comments said you should stay out of politics because you're gonna lose followers like me. Basically saying you're gonna lose followers who are not into the whole political thing.
Oh yeah.
And I asked him, you know, what do you feel about that? And he goes like, well, you know, she's not wrong. You know, politics could get annoying, could get boring, could get. This guy keeps it 100, you know. So he was seeing where she was coming from. And I told him that's interesting. And I started to tell him about the podcast that we have here, and how, you know, this video is on a road to break 1,000, but in my heart for all the wrong reasons, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so to me it's like, I told him about that, and I told him I feel like I'm in the corner because we have an audience, but it's not the one I want. You know what I mean? And I told him that, and I was like, so what do you think I should do in this situation? Because I started explaining to him, I realized that the only thing that does numbers is conflict. You know what I mean? Conflict and arguments. That's what
Conflict and cornflakes.
That's right. So the people love it, right? They love their cornflakes. So I told them I don't know what to do. Do I follow up, or I don't know where to go here? And I know that you've been in this situation. And he goes like, you know, do what feels natural to you. And I started explaining to him, you know, people get together for this stuff. He's like, that's a great point. He's like, yes, they do. Like whenever I post political stuff, it gets the most views. But if I start talking spiritually, no one is sharing, no one is liking it, no one, you know, people don't want to hear it. And I was like, I could see that. And I told them, and it's crazy because we try to ride the wave of, if we ever do catch a wave, there's so many people who will ride it out, you know? Like, absolutely. I guess we're a conservative podcast now, Brandon. Woo! You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not. It's not that. So I was telling him I'm kind of in a corner, and he gave me that good advice. And then I started telling him, he's all like, oh, he's like, oh yeah, I don't I done that before and it didn't work out. And I brought up the fact that when he left the JLP show, he went on to sell insurance, like life insurance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And in the midst of that, he made a video of him dancing to "Tell Me Where to Go, Tell Me Where to Go, Tell Me Where to Go."
Yeah, he's a dancer, correct?
He's a dancer.
Or has a dancing background?
Yes, he's a dancer, dancing background. He has his own studio. It's called The Gifted of Dance.
Oh, okay.
So check that out if you're interested in getting like your kids and dancing and stuff. I think he works with kids most than anything, but it's a great thing. He did his own like reality show on it. I thought it was cool to see that. Anyway, I told him, he's like, he did a video like that, right? Dancing to that E40 song, the "Tell Me Where to Go, Tell Me Where to Go."
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. It's an older song for those who don't really know what I'm talking about, but you know, the Bay Area get what's that word they used to say they get in the Bay Area? Hyphy, there you go. They get hyphy out there. Shout out them. But he did this
What's
video.
that word they used to say back then, Sonny Jim?
What's that old word back then? we old as fuck. So I'm saying he did a dance to that video, right? And he was in the middle of like a meeting of the life insurance people. It was like a nice little 30-piece in a room somewhere, doing some type of presentation. He started doing a dance, and one of the guys jumped in at the very end, and it was very viral. And guess what? It went viral. It got 30 million views.
Oh, wow.
And I noticed this because obviously he was bringing it up. I followed him on Instagram. So it got 30 million views, and even got so big that it was reposted by E40 himself, you know?
Right.
And then he ran with it. He started calling himself the dancing insurance guy, right? So
That's a good gimmick.
I know. So I brought it up to him. I was like, "Oh, it's like when you ran with the dancing insurance guy." And he kind of started laughing. He's like, "Yeah, that's a perfect example of me riding a wave. You know, like I realized it was beneficial for me at the moment, but guess what? 4 months later, it's gone." He's all like, "So all you really have is to be yourself because that's what's gonna sustain you."
I couldn't see you like for a whole year, you trying to tell people where to go. You know what I mean? Like, tell me where to go. Tell me where, just for a whole year.
Hey, it's a dancing insurance guy. But it's
No,
crazy.
I'm pretty sure he switched up the songs, right? He would just dance different songs, but he would be dancing.
Yes, but I get that comment, rewinding back to the beginning. I get that comment, you're gonna lose subscribers like me. Stay out of politics. Those are the people he brought in while he was doing the dancing insurance gimmick.
People who
So
just want to kind of watch like stuff that doesn't make them critically think or have to
yes,
try or have to like
or a narrative pushed
kind of
on
like
them.
that too, and then subconsciously have to pick a side, right? Like, oh no, I
Yes.
feel like I have to pick a side because the things you're not like disagreeing with, and you're asking yourself, well, does that make me a Democrat because I don't agree with that, or does it make me conservative because I don't agree with that? You know what I'm saying? And you kind of just want to stay away from that madness.
Yes, and so I understood that comment and I brought it up to him. He's like, yeah, that's a perfect example, and he broke it down. Basically, told me you got to be yourself to be able to sustain yourself, and to me that was just great advice that I needed at the time, which is earlier today, because I was in a corner. I didn't know where to take it from there. I saw the numbers. And sometimes I don't blame people who do jump on the wave and try to ride it, for the sake of, oh, my prank went viral, I gotta do another prank. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I gotta do it worse. Like a perfect example of that is like Vitaly. You know who he is?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he does the kickstart thing. He does the predator chase.
Yes, he does the predator chase and all that. But I'm saying before that, he was just like this prankster guy that was on Twitch, I believe, or YouTube. Was one of the OG guys.
I think it was Twitch. I think because I don't know if isn't he banned on Twitch? And that's why he's on Kickstart now.
Well, there's a viral video of him like high off something, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the work here, so don't quote me on this. He was high off something and he was getting arrested. It's like a very viral video that you can find online. I don't know complete details, but I do know is that he fell for that. He fell for following the trends and following the views, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's just so funny that the attraction that I would say brings the people out. Like I can't help but think about during the COVID era, and the politics being so amped with Trump, and it was dividing a lot of families. You hear these stories all over the internet. I don't know if you dealt with anything like that, but did you?
Oh, with what? Specifically, I'm sorry.
Like, did you ever deal with like conflict between your family over political views?
No.
You weren't, if I'm not mistaken, you were living on your own at that point, no?
When?
Around that time, the COVID, or I'm saying
No.
the political.
I was splitting time. I was splitting times.
Okay.
But no, I was Jodying that shit. I was baby boy.
yeah, I hear you. So.
But no. But it was never nothing like that. Like even on Thanksgiving and stuff like that, we never had like sat around and debated or even talked about who we were gonna like. We were just different.
You're blessed, bro, because like I could see that, like me knowing your family, being around your family, I could see that you guys don't dive into that. There's no conflict of minds. I think you guys just get along, like. You kind of, I'm sure you guys have your ups and downs like any family, but I could see from my point of view that nobody was pushing anything on you. Like you were free to be yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but there is a lot of families who are being pushed. Think about all the kids in the back of a pickup truck or in the back of a car where they're being taught by their parents on those drives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And their
Absolutely.
opinions. Oh, Trump, or that Trump is he's no good for the country. And then the opposite. Oh, Trump is what we need for this country. You gotta get involved. You hear me, son? You know what I mean? So I could see
Yeah,
all
no,
that.
I understand that. Like because also too, you know those they're what do you call them? Jim Jones. What is that? What Jim Jones had?
He had a coat.
What was that? Cult. Thank you. These cults, they do that as well, you know. They have their own philosophy, their own religion, their own education. So, like, imagine you meet someone like that, you know, a survivor of a of a cult. That would just be an intense conversation because it's just like they're just programmed from birth to to know one thing or only accept one thing. So anything you do to them would be foreign.
Yeah, there are examples of that. You could see them online on YouTube. Like I escaped the Jewish cult. I
Oh
escaped.
wow.
Yeah, there's one that I saw. This particularly was the Jewish one. He had escaped
Mhm.
like a Jewish cult where, they had their ways about it. It was basically a cult. I think the difference with a cult is that it starts to get a little bit dark. In a cult,
Yeah.
like things get dark. You might get naked and you might do weird worships, and that's to me the difference between religion and a cult is that the cult, they have a little more grasp on the people. Like the story of
Well,
Jim
there
Jones. He killed everybody
it
with a drink.
also there's cults too that they get the people and then they have children within the cult, right? And now
Yeah.
these with children born within the cult are from the start, you know what I'm saying? Or that's what they know, not like someone was brought there and then all of a sudden you have to change your ways because now you're in this like different type of thing. I remember me, my brother, and his son were in Hollywood. We're just chilling, walking the strip, and then the Scientology guys were like, "Oh, hey, you want to see a free movie?" Not knowing they're Scientology, like they're kind of like not looking like it. And I took the pamphlet and I was like, and Josh was like, "We should just do it. You might as well, just Hollywood type of thing, free movie. Why it doesn't seem far fetched." And right before we stepped in, I looked at the thing. I was like, "Josh, nah, we good." Like, what you mean? I was like, "Nah, we not going in there." It's like, this is a Scientology building, bro.
Yeah.
Like we're not going in there. And I just stopped it, and we weren't disrespectful or nothing like that. And we're just, "Oh no, sir, we're good. Thank you though. I appreciate the offer." Okay, he's like, "No, we just got to go this way." I didn't appreciate,
Yeah.
like you're like, "What are you trying to lure us in now?" I
They
just told
did.
you we're okay. Like
Trying to lure you in with promises.
for real.
Bro,
Free popcorn?
yeah, like I know you're talking about Hollywood, and they're like famously known to have bunkers there. You know what I mean? Like they got their setups there. I fell for it. Like I was probably like around 7th grade. Had a huge crush on this girl named Jackie, right? Shout out
Yeah.
Jackie, wherever you are. Had a huge crush. This is like the first girl I ever really crushed on, and I remember like we were getting out the metro right on Hollywood and Highland, and there was a setup right there, and the people are like, "Oh, we could read your emotions or something like that." They made me hold these two, like they look like pegs, like the bike pegs that people grind with. They look like two of those, just like a cylinder of metal. And yeah,
They got you with eggs on a bike.
I'm trying to tell you. And I'm holding these things, right? And then they start asking me questions. They're like, "Is there someone you love?" And then, "Is there somebody you're crushing on?" And then there was like a speedometer or some type of, I don't know what you call them, meter reader that was like a reading my pulse or something. So I remember when he said that, I squeezed the metal things because I wanted it to read that, yes, I got a crush. So I was playing along as well,
Mhm.
And I squeezed it. He's like, "Oh, look at that." And all my friends were like, "Look, that thing went crazy," like. And then I
He's
don't
in love, Jimmy.
yes. And then I remember squeezing them just to play along with the thing, you know, like I wanted my love for her to be so true that the speedometer read it, you know. So I don't know how it happened, but now I'm scraping together quarters like my bus fare to
What
buy the
the?
stupid book. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, they sold me the book, and then I realized I was like, that's who they're trying to prey on, is the very gullible people, like
The vulnerable ones, the
vulnerable.
ones that need that extra. Oh, this is a sign that this is meant to be. Not
Yeah,
just not in the terms of just having a crush, but anything else. Like, if I do this, then I could potentially, you know what I mean, get more or something, or I could like he could have said anything, like with, if you do this, you want more money in life, or you want more money, more happiness, or you want, something like that. It could have been anything in that moment, and it could just be anything, and it's a moment of vulnerability. And for you, it was that the right thing was said, because he was saying, "Oh, you ever love someone?" Or you said, "What do you say? You
yes.
ever crush on
It's
someone?"
like are
That's
you
the right thing. Perfect thing. Like, it's messed up because it sounds like Cupid was playing a little game on you.
yes, like, but see, this is why you gotta be aware all the time. But of course, as a kid, a lot of things are invisible, you know, like things like that are very invisible. Like you don't know how to stand up for yourself, or you don't realize the game that's being played on you. Like yeah, kids are very vulnerable, and this is why I brought up the whole, like, imagine that kid in the back of the pickup truck, or the kid in the back of the Honda being you know, filled up to the head with fucking the opinions and point of views of the parents, whether they be good or bad. But 99% of them are probably bad, or at least misguided. We all are, so I could only imagine the advice given out is misguided as well.
We'll go down to Daisy's. Best tequila in town. I live on the boulevard. Daisy's is 15 minutes away. Come on.
You may talk about the men of Gideon, talk about the men of Saul. Don't like the good old.
Bro, there was this guy, he was selling like a Palm Pilot. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was a Sprint phone that was almost like a desktop. And Chris, you know Chris, the guy that I record with sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out him. When he was younger, Marvin tells me a story that he took him, like, he asked him, "Can you come with me? I'm gonna go do a transaction right now. I'm selling my Palm Pilot." He's like, "Okay, yeah." He's like, "Where are you meeting him?" He's like, "Oh, right here at the Tropical Fish," which was like a pet fish shop or a pet shop. And you know, he meets up with the guy, and he says when he walked in, they both walked in, right? Like, and they saw the guy there, and they told him, he's like, "Oh, hey." He's like, and then the guy was wearing like a fish shirt. So automatically they felt like, "Oh, this guy works here," you know? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, come over here. And he's like, "Let me see." And then they showed him. He's like, "Oh, okay, let me go to the car. I'm gonna get the money." And he walked out the back with the Palm Pilot, and the guys were there waiting for like 10 minutes, bro. And then till they finally realized, like, motherfucker's not coming back, you know, like.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, they got you, you know? And
Easy.
they got you. The guy was wearing a shirt. He met you at the fucking, you know, at the Tropical Fish. He just played you, and because you were so young and didn't realize and anybody today would be like, "Go get the money," you know.
Right.
I'm holding
Yeah.
on to this. Like, you ain't taking it nowhere. Where are you going? Go get the cash. I'll be right here. But you know, you're vulnerable.
I mean, that happened to me too. I was with my friend. He loaned me his Sidekick. Yes, a Sidekick it was an old school phone back in the day from T-Mobile. Look it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you know that it was very pricey. So my friend had a Sidekick. He let me hold it for a second. At the time, we were trying to get some bud. and there was some local, gang members right there, and I know probably they had some, but one of them, I'm not, I ain't gonna name drop, but one of them was on a bike. He came on a bike and was like, "Oh, you trying to look for something?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, let me go see." He came back. He said, "No, I ain't got none." He was like, "Here, let me put my number in your phone." And my friend was in the store, so I just handed over the sidekick. What do you think he did next?
What do you do?
He took off on the bike with the sidekick.
Wow.
And what made had insult to injury, this individual knew who my brother was. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, come on now, that's nuts.
Did you get it back?
So, but no, I never got it back, and I actually ended up having to pay my friend. So,
Fuck, how much you pay for that?
well, I just paid I just had to pay 200, but he had bought it for like 5, I think.
Yeah. No, that shit was a pricey phone. I remember the sidekick. Like, it was at least
Yeah.
$3, from what I remember.
No, I was a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating some numbers here, but I just know that I was feeling bad.
Yeah, we all get played like that, Like, I mean, I've been played like that. It's not having the awareness, it's where you fall for the type of stuff. But
That fool in the tropical shirt took the Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
And then they hit him up. Where you at? You guys hit him up. Where you?
Bro,
And
he said they waited
hits
for
you
like.
with the,
Yeah, go ahead.
hits you with the let me give you the game.
He's not coming back. Chris, gotta tell you, he's not coming back, brother. But yeah, so like he told me that story, and I thought that was like, man, I mean, it was funny at first, just the way Marvin tells a story. I gotta get Marvin on this pod because he could tell a hell of a story. I love when he tells me things. Like he knows how to tell them just right, and he knows how to hit the cues, and just like any raconteur would do, like good storyteller. But yeah, so like I said, wrapping up to the beginning, that I had called in to get that off my chest, and it just made me think of a lot of things. A lot of the things I was thinking about today was how people just come together because they want to spread hate, or people come together because they wanna they want conflict. It reminds me of those people that go to riots or protests that are looking to start things. They're not there for the cause. They're there to start shit. They're not there for a cause. They're there to let their anger out. And just reminded me of all that, like the riots during the George Floyd incident in Los Angeles. Like, they were burning everything down, and a lot of businesses had to put up signs, legit had to put up signs that said black owned business, do not like harm us, type of shit,
Yeah.
And you remember those signs?
Yeah, I remember. There were even some around where I was working at, like some Latino establishment, like Latino mom and pop liquor stores or just stores. They would have that on their windows, on like you said, like a not 2x4, like a nice plank,
Like a
of
plywood,
wood.
like a plywood.
Exactly, plyboard.
Yeah.
Just big, like spray painted BLM.
Yeah. Like so that, I thought that was crazy, like, man, people are just out here. They're not people like to hide behind things, right? Like they'll looking for any reason to let out an anger. They look for anything, whether it be a disagreement on the streets. They're looking to let it out. And this, unfortunately, is our nature as people here. I could see it, in my daily life. Which leads me to my point that popular on the social media is to dox people for doing the wrong thing or making mistakes. People love to dox. People who don't know what dox is leaking people's information out to the public in a sense of vigilanteism, seeking revenge. I saw a video today that was interesting, and out of all the people who sent it to me, it was actually Marvin. He sent it to me. It was of this kid getting slapped, and the kid was autistic, and this kid was with his mother, and this guy driving a Benz. I guess the story goes that the kid had like broken the little ornament that's on the Benz. You know how the Jaguars have the little Jaguar and there's ornaments in the front hood of the car?
Right.
So the kid broke the vents one, I think. And the guy, a grown-ass guy, goes up to him and slaps him. And the mom was trying to explain, like, oh, he has autism, like, but she was doing it in Spanish, so the guy was not listening. I don't think he was Spanish himself. And this happened here in Coima somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But it was interesting because I naturally go to the comments, you know, and I'm looking at the comments, and you know,
what are you fishing for in those comments?
I don't know. I just went right. I'm always in the comments.
Watch the video and move on. What are you in those comments for?
Well, the thing is, just like everybody else, everybody wants to get angry together.
That's what I wanted you to say.
Yeah. So I go on the comments, and of course you get the comments that are saying, "Leak his information. I'm rolling up. I'm beep 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 pew 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 pew. This is his address." I saw everything from his mom's last name to his address to his workplace to the license plate of his car, right? Now, before I move forward, I don't condone a grown man hitting a kid in any situation, autistic or not.
Right.
It hits more when it is a defenseless child with autism and there's a grown man violating this kid. Because it was violation.
Real fast, devil's advocate. If it's your car and a kid runs up to it and does that without you not knowing,
yes, do you still hit
are
the
you
kid?
having that? Do you have that same reaction?
No.
Like that same anger to get out the car? Not even say you hit him, just get out the car.
Talk some
hey,
shit.
what the hell are you doing? You know, like what the fuck?
I would probably say,
You know,
like, tell the
you-
mom, like, hey, grab your kid. I'm almost ran him over or something, you know? But the
I'm
kid
saying
itself,
no. This fool, I'm saying no. You're the video is he ripped something off the car, correct?
No, he didn't rip it. It just from what I see is the guy getting out the car and the ornament was flapping. The ornament of the car, the little Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
sign.
So the kid did it then.
Yes, the kid did it, and when the guy was
Okay.
go ahead.
So he was in park or is it crossing the street? Like how was the
When the video started,
area?
the guy got out the car and was already on the side. They were at a bus stop, and the guy walked up to the kid and slapped him and walked away.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Not a lot of context. But so let's just say he you know ripped the thing off, and then you say, well, you know, and he just does that. So you're getting out the car and say, get your kid, and going back to the car.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, yeah, I'm not a
No,
psycho.
no. I'm not trying to lure anything out of you. I'm just saying that's it.
No,
So,
that's
okay,
it.
we can
Yes,
move on.
it's even
Okay.
less. I might just look at her and be like, just keep going.
I don't believe that second one.
But that's me. That's me, bro. I mean, you know, that's just the
not
way
the
I
tis
move.
tis, not the tis tis tis. I believe you having
I might wag
a
the
reaction,
finger,
dog.
you know what I mean?
I believe you having a reaction. I don't think
I'm
you're
gonna
wagging
wag,
no
I'm gonna
fucking
wag the finger.
You just got a 1998.
I'm gonna hit her with the you and just drive off, you know?
I don't
but-
believe you would hit the kid. I just think that you would say something like in an aggressive tone. I don't think you would.
If
not
I
let
ever
that
would
go.
do something, I think
It's a
it'll
teachable
always be
moment
directed
because-
to. I'm not teaching somebody's kid. I think I'm teaching the parent of anything. But I don't even think I'll do that. But I will be like, hey, grab your kid. Look what he did, you know? I might take it there, but I don't even think I will take it there, to be honest with you. But reason I bring this up is because the guy who posted this thing, some guy named Jimmy Humilde, with about 1 million followers on Instagram. And looking through the comments, I saw this comment and it popped up for me. Like it stood out for me. I had to take a screenshot of it. I have it here. It says, at Jimmy Humilde. He's tagging him. The author of this comment is Lawyer 1201. And he says, Jimmy Humilde, go jump in your lowrider and find him yourself, G. In your mansion, telling fools that got nothing to lose to not let something fly. While you gain everything, chalice, homie. I don't condone none of what happened in this video, but I don't condone you endorsing shit that you ain't willing to do yourself. What do you think about
So
that
he
comment?
commented on the guy who said to drop the Addy, right?
Yes, to find him and get him. He's all like, go get him, Raza. Don't let it slide. That's what the guy said. And this is the
But
comment I saw that
but
I
but
identified
did
with the
he?
most.
I don't think he said it like a.
That's what he
That's hilarious.
wrote. Okay, hold on. I gotta be actual, right? I'm gonna go to the actual video right now.
I'm saying the way he said it, I don't think he had, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it
Kid
was.
Frost playing in the background.
Check it out. This is what he said. Panorama City, you know what it is. F this fool. Don't let this go, Raza.
He's definitely.
That sounds
okay.
like marching orders to me.
It does.
And
He sound like he's given the green light.
and I'm telling you, in the comments, yes, he's giving the green light. But in the comments, I saw everybody come together, letting the hate out. You know, I was like, this has nothing to do with the kid. I think this has everything to do with you looking for a moment to let your emotions out. You know what I mean? Like everybody was, oh, I feel so bad. I wanna kill him. Oh, I feel so bad. Where does he
Well,
live?
that normally bands people together. A
Yes,
kid being
they rally
harmed, you know what I
against
mean?
somebody. You
It
know?
does not matter if you hate blacks or white. You just see a kid about to get harmed. Your natural instinct is to want to save them. Even if, let's move away from someone getting hit. Let's just say you see a kid about to wander in the street. You could be a block away, and if you see the parent didn't have awareness, you're not gonna go, "Hey, get your kid." You're gonna run as fast as you can to save that fucking kid.
Yes. I just think it's interesting. The guy hit the nail on the head with that comment. You know, he's like, "Yeah, bro, from your mansion, you're telling guys to go take care of this." He's like, "What are you doing?
That's so
You
funny.
gain
His comment
everything.
is
You get the traction. You get the views. You get the
his,
comments."
his comment is funny too. And it's real, but it's funny because it's like he had to do the research before he did.
Yeah.
You had
No.
to look on the profile to the drop. It was like a freestyle battle. Like he had to drop the I didn't know this
Yeah,
guy lived in a
bars.
mansion. I didn't know.
Well, yeah, this is a 1 million follower guy, and he's all like, "Go jump in your lowrider and go find him yourself, G." And I was all like, "In your mansion, telling fools that got nothing to lose to not let something fly." What he was saying is, it's the same thing the politicians that during the George Floyd thing were telling other black people, "Go destroy the city." I'd like to order 12 steaks, a bottle of your finest what's that fucking famous drink, Chris? Can I get a Cristal? Can I get 10 of those bottles? Oh, hold on, I gotta tweet something out. I cannot sleep. This can't go no longer. Tomorrow let's hit Melrose. Destroy your hood. Okay. I also want to order $300 worth of your finest caviar. You know what I mean? Like, it reminded me of that. Like people giving these tall orders from the comfort of their mansions, but the emotional people will go ahead and take those orders out. You know?
Yeah.
And they lose everything while they stand to gain everything, and that is politics in a nutshell. While Trump stands to gain it all, you stand to not gain anything. And you think you're winning something here by voting for certain people, but yet I don't see how you guys don't understand at this point that there is no right or wrong. And both of these people, the both presidential things, it's all in the same. They have no say in what's going to happen in this world. This world is leading where it's supposed to, and the banks are leading it. You think America got play in what the hell happens here? No. If I'm not mistaken, America is in debt for trillions. They're not even owned by themselves. The foreign banks own America. So to play this political game, it's all a waste of time and it's a distraction. But of course, emotional, gullible people are gonna play that game because they love it. They love disagreeing. They love telling you what they believe to be true and imposing it on you, and it's such a disgrace, you know, like to see that happening here. And like I said, this comment kind of just made me realize that. And I like how this all ties in with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that what you're saying. That's why I really personally try to just stay out of that. I don't ever try to understand it, or I don't try to pick a side, because ultimately picking a side means that now you're
Against somebody if you pick that
against
side.
somebody, and then if you're against somebody, now you have to combat your friends because they have different ideologies or something like that. Like, I like my friends when they like some of my friends that I've met and like are beginning conversations or getting to know each other. So they'll like kind of give a filler out, and then I just go and I'll say I'm not really into politics. And it's
Yeah.
it's like a sigh of relief for them,
I'm
because
telling
it's
you.
just like they don't have a friend that's not.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm that friend normally who's just the one who's gonna just be. We're gonna have out of the box thinking, different kind of conversations. Gonna test your moxie. Gonna test your vulnerability and other things. That's not something that makes you feel like you gotta rage out or
Yeah.
super stand on business of like, this is what I believe, this is what I think. If you don't like it, we don't have to hang out. Like a good day or a good moment with your friend could end in like tragedy or in shambles because of a disagreement or a belief in, like, I like the people who like are so like headstrong and like I'm voting Trump, and then it's kind of like looking at you for that reaction, like, oh yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, congratulations.
Yeah,
Like,
they,
all
they, they
right.
want a
Yeah.
reaction from you, bro. They love to
Yeah, I'm
feel that
solid.
that people are against them and they stand. I'm
It's like,
telling you,
I'm solid.
the
Good.
the conservatives hide behind God all the time. They are like, we're the good side. God is with us. But
I'm gonna quote my homeboy. He'd be like, y'all got it.
y'all got it. Yeah, I
Got
mean,
the quote him right there.
yeah, like go ahead.
Like, as
Dog,
soon as it seems like, you're gonna let them just get emotional about that, you just be like, you know what, y'all got it.
Yeah. And that's something I had to learn in my own personal life. And of course, during the COVID and all of that, I was sucked into the same BS, the political thing. I thought I was a conservative. I thought that God was a conservative. You know what I'm saying?
You thought it was conservative. You thought you were being conservative. It was just COVID.
I think that's what it is. I never took the shot. And it's funny too, because I believe that the reason I never took the shot was because of a conservative brainwash, you know? Because they're so against the shot, the jab, they called it. I'm not taking a jab. I'm not wearing a mask. This is America.
So for you, you had that option, right? So for me, I had the option too, but that just meant that I would have to pick a different profession. I'm in the medical field, so that meant that we are guinea pigs. We are the experiments.
Oh, you guys
We
had
had
it
to either
bad.
take it. We had to either take it, or we had to change profession, because you
Lose
could
your
not.
job,
Oh,
yeah.
there wasn't at that time in the beginning. There wasn't an option of having to wear a mask like a specific mask or something.
Yeah.
No, it was like, it was either take the shot or you're not gonna work. I remember seeing people cry because they were not gonna take that shot. It's like almost like they're against their religion and shit. But little did we know, we're the fools. We're the fools who took the shot because we didn't. And in hindsight, didn't have to. It was always gonna come down to it. It was like when influenza hit, and influenza still kills more people than COVID every year. So it's just another thing that added to the list of things that could kill us. But unfortunately, when it hit, it was like it was in our era of being conscious of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like the Black Plague where we're not even we don't exist,
Yeah,
or anything like that. This is our Black Plague. You know what I'm saying? It was just like,
The closest thing.
I mean, for
yeah.
me. For me, for sure, just seeing it hands on and seeing how many times you were just put in a situation of having to save someone's life for a few days and then they ultimately probably die. That changes you, numbs you to death.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's a whole different, like, I would love to do a pod on that in the future, because I do know you have first-hand experience of all of that, you know?
Yeah, you definitely put a pin on that, put a
Yeah,
bookmark
yeah,
on that. But
yeah.
yeah, I was just more or less saying of the whole, how that changed everything and
Yes.
how it made, you know what I'm saying, just everything so. I felt everything was so like boxed in, like what they were doing, even like with the governor and stuff. I just grew tired of him coming out there and then just saying this, oh, we're gonna be good, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and I thank everyone for fighting, and it's like wear a mask, and then you at a party without a mask. I'm like, all right, bro, that's it. I'm not watching any more news.
Yeah, it's so
You're not
fun.
gonna, you're not gonna turn me against this guy. You're
Yes,
not gonna
yes,
make me
yes.
like the guy. You're not gonna make me turn against. I watch wrestling.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch
yeah.
wrestling.
If I want drama, I'm watch
You know?
fucking. Just quick, 2 points on that. A quick one is I remember you did end up catching it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Like 3 times.
Okay, so I remember like one of the first times you caught it, like, you told me, oh, I'm recovering and stuff, and we finally got linked up again, and we're rolling a blunt, and I remember you just passed it to me, and this was around the time where COVID seemed to be the invisible killer, And I just remember you
Yeah.
passed me the blunt, and I had to, in my mind, take a second to be like, am I hitting this shit? You know what I mean? Like, because I felt, of course, there was so much misinformation. Everybody was gullible to what the reality was. So I ended up just looking at the blunt and I was like, I don't give a fuck. I just started just smoking, not giving a fuck. I'm not even vaccinated. I was just didn't care. But that's one point. And another point is during that time, I was doing Uber, and as far as Uber drivers, they were not forced to take anything because they're private contractors, so they weren't forced to take the medicine or any type of jab or anything. And I remember I picked up this girl, and I picked her up during those days where it was kind of slow because people were being told to stay home, And there's a famous picture where the 101 freeway is empty because they're issuing everybody a warning to stay home, and the freeways were empty, And I remember,
Except for one man still driving and driving as fast
yeah,
as he
me.
can.
with 4 variations, and cooking up in me. But I remember I picked this girl up, and right away she goes like, everybody's scared of COVID. I have no problem. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's like, yeah, it's like, I'm tough as nails. I'm as cool. I'm cool over here. I was like, that's cool. He's like, yeah, I ain't scared of COVID. And around that time, I was on an ego trip on the conservative tip. And I go, I tell her, oh, yeah, COVID won't kill you. But you know what will kill you even faster? And she goes like, what? I was like, anger. Anger will kill you even faster. I'm already looking to listen to myself talk here, making those points, right? In retrospect. And I'm just looking for a moment to teach somebody something. The ego wants to always teach, right? And I tell her that, and she goes like, well, I don't got no hate. I was like, you love your parents? I'm giving her the Jesse Lee Peterson spill, right? And she goes,
101.
Yeah, you know it. And then she says, oh yeah, I love my mom. Man, I'd do anything for my mom. Leaving the dad out, right? So I go, what about your dad? Oh, fuck that fool. I was like, what? I was like, how you say you have love and you hate your dad? He's like, hey man, you don't know nothing about my life. I was like, I'm from New York.
Right.
She goes like, I'm from New York.
Right.
That's right. And I go like, bro, I said this, dawg. I'll keep it hala. I said this.
There it is.
I'm gonna keep it hala. I said this. I said to her, that's the reason you don't have a love in your life, because you hate your dad, and every guy is a reflection of your dad, so you hate guys as well. I could see it. I told her this, bro. She lost her shit. She goes like, what the fuck? What makes you think it's okay that you talk to me like that? I was like, I'm just saying. She's like, I don't want to talk to you no more. I was like, that's fine. And we literally sat in silence for the next 15 minutes. And when she was getting out, I might as well told her, I'm gonna pray for you. You know what I mean? I might as well told her that, but I just went like, all right, have a good day. And she didn't say anything. She just got out. And I said, that's it. In my head, I was like, yeah, I'm standing on the truth. You know what I mean? Like,
You're the John Mayer of Uber rides that day.
daughter, speak good to
Your father.
Uber, speak good to your riders. Or riders won't trip. No, riders won't tip if you
There you go.
don't. They'll make a report, and then you'll be bored. with no job in COVID. Anyway. But that was a perfect example of me being like ego ridden, and looking back at that, I realized like, why did I have to attack this girl like that, you know, just to get my ego fulfilled. I'm putting people in a bad mood. I'm guessing what's going on with them, thinking I'm the fucking mind reader. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were times where like you would try and you know hit me with some of that rhetoric, and it was, for me, I never tripped out or anything like that. I just let you go ahead and get your point across because I knew what I was gonna say. I try to be an active listener, but you only could be an active listener for so long, in a sense of like already knowing, you're gonna shut down and already know that you're gonna tell them this is what it is. That's why I've always appreciated that aspect of our friendship, because that could have separate or ended a lot of friendships with a lot of people, because they don't know how to like just see that this is not what it is. This is something different, where your friend is excited that he found something that makes sense to him,
Yeah.
and he wants to share it, and that's all it is. That's how I took it, and it's just like, hey, you know what, I'm good. I said I like it this way, but your way, hey, I know it's okay though. We're gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's like that was always my thing, and we always made light of it because we always could find a joke out of it.
I kept my sense of
There
humor.
was,
I
and that
think,
if you didn't trust me, if you didn't, you would have saw less of me, because I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, I'm not
Like, why
trying to
would I
always
want?
get into these,
Yes.
like these like it's like what we could talk about it, but then it's like it spirals into you gotta do it. It's like, bro, I'm not finna
Yes.
just
Yes.
because you're shouting the high water that what I'm saying, I'm finna drink it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do that. No.
And that's not fair to put an expectation on people, regardless. Like
Yeah, at all. And
expecting
that's what I
them to
appreciate.
react how you want them to. Like.
You still have a different way of thinking, but it's like that doesn't like define how you know what I'm saying, how you go about accepting other people's ways or opinions. So and like I said, if you didn't, you'd be a little bit more shallow and standoffish with a lot of people, but you're not actually. You're what's it? I won't say forthcoming. What's that word? You're
When
like
arms wide open.
yeah, you're a Creed song.
Okay.
You're a Creed song on a Sunday evening.
Can you take me higher?
To a place. Oh, hit
Finish
the
it off. Finish it off.
guitar again.
All right.
To a place where I can see.
I love that video of that guy that just comes in with the harmony, like not even. That's so. I remember you would do that a lot just to show me that, like, this song from like the palm of your hand. You start hitting them,
Yeah.
the harmony, the unheard harmonies too. Like they're not even on the album. Like
No,
you just made them.
you only can hear, you only can hear them if you listen to the song 100 times on the Colby DVD player.
Yes. That's just funny.
On repeat.
I'm saying you start singing it your own way, but yeah. So and it's crazy. It's crazy because me and Brandon did have that where I would bring my spiel, my conservative spiel, and this guy was like, like he was just kind of like, oh Lord, like here he goes again, and it's funny because I apologized to him because one day it clicked in my head, like, what am I doing, like my one homie that I could trust, like he's I'm beating him over the head with a fucking soliloquy every day, like
The Jesse Lee Peterson
Spiel.
fucking wiffle ball bat.
I'm patting him in the head with that shit. And then I realized, like, I gotta stop this. It's kind of annoying, like, and it's not helping anything. It's really like trying to force somebody to think a certain way. And everybody knows you cannot change anyone. They gotta, and not even change saying that like he needs to change. Nothing is wrong with Brandon. That's what I came to find out, that nothing is wrong with any of us. We're just living and learning, And with that understanding, me and Brandon have been friends for the last close to
Like over a decade.
Yeah, more than that. Gee, that shit's been shit.
little over a decade, almost.
That should have been like 14 years or 15 years,
Yeah.
yes. And that's what kept us in sync like that, and still link up to this day, you know. And we always, there's got to be a laugh, bro. You know, we're gonna laugh about something, and it's just a natural relationship we have. But also, like, I realized that, you know, the conservative and the you know, Democrat, they give you like truths, you know what I mean? They give you true things to get you into the cult, but then they push the real narrative, you know what I mean? Like
I see what you're saying.
like both sides have points, you know what I mean? They both have points, you know what I'm saying, that seem to be okay, like, oh, that's a good point. And I remember that to me, Jesse did that. Jesse Lee Peterson, he talked about the forgiveness of the mother and becoming yourself again, and I love that. But then also he'll start talking about conservative stuff, you know what I mean, which I didn't like at all.
But did you think those things went hand in hand? Is that, and that's why you began to? Okay.
You know, you understand, like,
yeah,
I thought that they went hand to hand, because when you think about, like, say the Democrats, it's not okay that people are dying by cops like that. So they make a good point saying, hey, they gotta find a better way, a better system, because this is looking very bad. It's costing people's lives. When in the case of George Floyd, to me, it didn't even have to go into all of that. You know, the guy had the knee on the neck. Why the hell are you doing that, bro? Why? Can you control yourself, or you just think you're in a game or something? You think this is a game? You don't know how to deal with people? You have no understanding of people? No, there was no type of danger there. You know, the guy had surrendered, but you consistently pushed the issue and thought it was just another black guy I'm stopping. You know?
Right.
Had no heart. I could see that. There's points to that. But then, in the shadow of that, now they're pushing, go destroy your neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So I could see that. And then with the conservative, oh, we believe in God. We believe marriage is between a man and a woman because God said it. And now it's like, whatever. Now they're hiding behind God. They think God is with them. So the people who believe in God now think, oh, I believe in God, I guess I'm a conservative. You know what I mean?
I see.
But that's the lie of the devil. You shouldn't belong to anything. You got to stand alone as a man in this world. We know that. When you're going through the COVID stuff and you're working, bro, and I remember they had your ass in that fucking place almost every day, all day. 12-hour shifts, getting vaccinated, dealing with people who are passing away. And when all that comes down on you, there's no one there to hold your hand, bro.
That's what I kept saying. I was like, who's going to take care of the nurses? Who's going to take care of all these nurses? You know, when we're worn out and drained from the added, you know, it just got worse after COVID. You know,
guys
because
got burnt out.
Well, it's not just burnout, but COVID killed predominantly a lot of, you know, at the end of the day, unfortunately, in the USA, medicine and medical and health is a business. So you killed half of, or nearly all, the clients with COVID because they're older, right? They were more subjected to that sickness, so they died. So a lot of them that died, and a lot of other more patients that were probably like battling ailments. You know, I seen it like firsthand, just people who were doing good and then all of a sudden got COVID and just could not fight it. So it's just insane, like, to see it from the perspective of you think you're helping. Sometimes there's perspectives of like there's nothing you can really do, but try to make it as comfortable for them as possible. But yeah, it's a sick thing to see. Like, it's a sick game. It's a sick thing. Health is a sick game, bro.
Yeah, I completely agree. At the highest level, you know, some people say they spread this thing on purpose. What's their agenda? I don't know. We're not included in their plans, you know. And by they, I mean the shadowy figures that are up at the top, you know. the top 1% of the people who own everything. And
We're not talking about the shadowy figures though that will get us shadow banned. So
not those.
shout out to you guys. So we don't want to get shadow banned.
We're just saying that some people have their conspiracies that this thing is spread on purpose for whatever reason. So
Is that the fucking FBI?
yeah. yes. I think that's YouTube on the phone. they already banned us. That's a good one. We got deep on this one, guys. Appreciate you guys for sticking around, listening to this. It's food for thought. I'm saying, like, coming from two guys who don't hold that in our hearts to try and teach you something. Brandon's never tried to teach me anything, bro. Like, he has never tried to teach me anything, and I appreciate him.
Just a jumper.
Just a jumper.
Maybe some handles back in the day.
I think he taught me the 2K.
You know what? I've
alley-oop.
also taught you something on FL that you didn't know you could do back in the early days, like on cutting.
Yeah, cutting.
And they used to call me Kid Cuddy.
Who are you cutting? Nah, I'm just playing. Yes, guys. It's hot as, it's hot over here in LA, but we appreciate you guys for rocking with us, like I said.
How do you know how it's hot? Can you ask Mark for the weather report, please?
I actually can't because I'm looking at my soundboard and everything's gone. Look, open up the soundboard. Yes, everything's gone. I'm looking at
So Mark got fired.
They,
oh my god!
I think the FBI got into her soundboard. They didn't like it, but
Wait, so so let me ask Mark. Hold on.
We're looking at the detail of today's power. So today, the lightning.
I think Mark has just got rehired, bro.
The lightning will not come, but.
So it's a hot day. Mark's pretty much saying.
Okay. Yes. I'm more able to finesse the soundboard. I know the soundboard like the back of my palm. So sorry, I'm gonna figure out what happened, guys. Why my soundboard is not here, but it's not here.
You know what?
Yeah.
What does Mark think about that?
As far as my acknowledgement, everything seems professional. You guys have a nice day.
I don't know if I agree with that, Mark. You don't fucking know how to use a soundboard.
I'm saying. And I think that the Aryans are still mad about this one, but what can we do?
You gotta give them what they want.
$15 plus interest.
But Buddha, he's a man.
$15 plus interest.
Okay, fine. I'll give you $17. Jeez. All right.
And the shoe shine. Remember the shoe shine.
And I wanted to serve for 15 years. Let's be realistic, Buddha. 2 weeks.
Hey.
All of the above. Do we got a deal?
$15 plus interest.
Okay.
Plus that.
Once again, guys, thank you for rocking with us. This is Sturdy, and the sky's the limit on that white history video. And you guys heard my take on that. And for those
But also, I wanted to say before you close
Yes.
it off, I'm sorry, I know you're closing it off. What I was gonna say was that video, and I know you're sitting on a double-edged sword with it. I'm saying that what it did was it brought eyes to your channel, which then will see the other episodes. Because all it's going to do is pique interest to see if you touch on other topics that they liked in that episode.
Yes. I think it was a collection, honestly. Like it's a mystery to see what works and what doesn't. But one thing me and Brandon have realized is it's the thumbnail work that is it's your first bait. You feel me? Like Brandon has one of his short films is reaching the highest.
It's actually at 5K right now.
You see what I'm saying? Round of applause. Like that's his first short that's brought in that many people. And the same thing with Brandon. You got the haters and you got the people who like it, right? But
actually, just a quick thing. Not to, because I would say Happy Anniversary was the first to reach 1,000. But attachment issues is the first to have reoccurring, like averaging like 300, 400 views a day right now. So I'm seeing what the recipe of trying to get what like the viewers like by still doing a niche thing like horror, but adding something that's very universal like sex.
Yes. So on his thumbnail, you got a very nice picture of a lady wearing a mask, but with some very nice low shot of cleavage, right? So
Yeah, it's
that's
it's
getting
meant to be
nice.
creepy. Yeah, oh no, 100. It's meant to be creepy, and it's meant to draw attention. It's meant to make you double take, like, wait, what? What's this about?
It made
And
me
it's
do the
meant to,
same. I was
you
like, what?
know, uh, maybe I don't know if you scheme through it. That's fine if you scheme through it, because eventually when you get to the part you feel like you're gonna see what you're looking for, then you still have to just let it play out. So if that's all you do watch it for, I appreciate you, because it's still art, and
Yes,
I
yes.
created it.
Yeah, it's just
So
amazing.
thank you very much.
Yes, give it up for his 5K views. Big achievement. YouTube, YouTube is an ocean of content. So to get any type of traction is it's welcome for sure. Like I said, guys, this was basically a part 2 of that, and moving forward, we can never know what we're going to talk about. Honestly, we freestyle all of this. Yes, sir. Believe it or not, guys, we freestyle all of this. So appreciate you guys once again, and we're gonna see you on the next one. All right, Brandon, closing thoughts.
Other than the boys being back in town,
Follow.
you know me, I'm sorry, I mean cut you off. You know me, I like to just push the channel Enigma_Nova on YouTube if you want to watch any short horror films of mine. Plus, join the movement, badassloganhorrorfilms.com. Thank you very much.
And that's the show, guys. See you on the next one.